Thanks for joining me on this video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you don't miss out on any new content on the channel. And also be sure to follow me on these other social media platforms. Links are in the description below. All right, have and have not fans. Now, a lot of people have been asking me to do this video for a while, and I said I'm going to wait until we go on a break to do this video. And I'm glad I did because it gave me time to kind of reflect. This is my personal top 10 moments from season 5 so far, because obviously season 5 isn't over yet. New episodes are airing on October 2nd, but now is as good a time as any to recap the 20 some episodes we've already had. So basically, I'm always mad about these kind of lists because even after going back through old episode reviews and old videos, I remember stuff. It's like, okay, these are the 10 moments I love. Somebody in the comments will tell me something and I'm like, damn, I should have remembered that. But as best as I could, I came up with 10. And yeah, so these are my 10 personal. Keep in mind my particular order. If you don't agree, that's all well and good. I mean, once again, let me know in the comments, was there something that didn't make my top 10? Because once again, I'm pretty sure if you say something in the comments, I'll be like, dang it, I forgot about that. But starting with number 10. Number 10. Pearl finally reappearing in the series after such a long hiatus and pretty much disowning Justin. I just love the fact that for the first time we are actually seeing the consequences of Justin being outed in court when Veronica showed the video in the season 4 finale, the Veronica show, where, you know, she has the video of Justin naked in the hotel room with Jeffrey standing there. And, you know, this was shown in front of his wife. So I was wondering, when is Justin ever going to go home? When are we going to hear about his wife? What's Pearl got to say about this? And it was a strong episode due to the fact that we finally got Pearl showing up again. Even Justin's boss told him, is like, hey, are you going to handle this situation? Because your mom's been calling nonstop. And the fact that, you know, a lot of fans like, you know, Pearl's like that colored boy. And it's like, yeah, I didn't really feel too fond about that either. But I just love the fact that, number one, we finally got Pearl back into the show after so long. And when she showed up, she meant business. I mean, she just shut it down. It's like, the embarrassment you gave the family, you're out of my will. Don't come back to the house for any holidays unless you're coming to apologize. And yeah, I mean, pretty much stone face, you know, Justin was like, okay, fine, whatever. I have nothing to be sorry for. And he's like, I was undercover. One of the funniest lines of the season, I'm not going to lie, based off the context itself. But really, you know, I put the Pearl thing above, you know, his wife, due to the fact that, you know, number one, once again, we haven't seen Pearl in such a long time. And just the fact that she laid down the law, while Justin's wife obviously upset about it all, Justin wouldn't even give her a straight answer as to why he did what he did. And he literally signed his life away without thinking twice about it. I mean, visiting rights with his daughter, all of his stuff is in like a camper outside, and that's it. Literally, he threw his whole life away and wants to blame Jeffrey for it, and like, he made you do nothing. But yeah, Pearl basically disowning her own son is definitely one of my, you know, top 10 moments of the season. Then we get to number 9. I definitely say that number 9 is on the list here. When we get to the surprise factor, just a sheer shock, something I never even predicted. Stephanie Mills on the haves and the have-nots. I mean, this was one of my favorite episodes of the series, due to the fact that we got something different. Like, I don't believe we've ever had a standalone scene where it's an artist doing a song. Yeah, we had the song like where Candace was buying her house and we had all the flashbacks, but I'm talking about a legitimate artist, a legend on the show singing. Like, at first I thought, oh, okay, Tyler will have her sing a couple minutes of the song, we'll go to commercial break. No. She sang the entire song, I Feel Good All Over, and for a solid 2 months after that episode, jamming to Stephanie, listening to live performances, listening to the songs. Like, I listened to Stephanie Mills, like, Never Knew Love Like This Before, I Feel Good All Over. I would listen to those when I was working at the call center in between calls. But yeah, I just listened to her on repeat after that episode. And I mean, the fact that it was unexpected, it wasn't advertised, wasn't in the commercials, was a great scene. I mean, literally, if Derek set the bar that high on the first date, then, you know, Hannah knows she's in for an interesting relationship. Lion tattoo stuff aside. But yeah, that was great. Stephanie Mills was just a sheer shock factor was enough for me. Then we get to number 8 here. And I'm going to say number 8 is... I'm going to call it Benny's Sexcapade. The fact that he's been with so many women in one season. I mean, let's not talk about the idiot Benny thing because I've done that enough. But between what? Veronica, Melissa, and Gia. Am I missing someone? Honestly, I feel like I said them all, but it wouldn't surprise me if I missed someone. Benny is definitely the man whore of season 5 in a nutshell. Like, you know, Jim, you know, him and his Harvey Weinstein persona is one thing, but Benny has definitely been on top, I guess is the bad choice of words here. But let me just say this much. Out of all of the moments he's had, you know, from like Melissa taking off her robe while he's in the closet trying to get the stuff for Veronica, I feel like hands down the most surprising scene to me. And again, I do feel like it was surprising with Melissa because before the season premiered, I remember doing a bunch of videos. It's like, who is that woman in the chair with Benny? Who is it? It's like, because we thought, I remember, is it Quita based off the hair? But no, it was Melissa. But out of all the scenes between Benny and Veronica, Benny and Gia, you know, that was just a one-off episode. But then with all the times with Melissa, the one thing I will never forget above all else was that one scene when Melissa licks Benny's neck. And I was like, ooh, gave me chills just watching it. So Benny's Sexcapade definitely number 8 on the list. Then we get to number 7. And this was definitely a shocking moment. In a recent episode, The Damn Defibrillator, when Jeffrey electrocuted Veronica. Now, it wasn't so much the fact that Jeffrey used the defibrillator on Veronica that shocked me. It was just the sheer aftermath of the fact that if Jeffrey isn't afraid to shock his mother, remember how much he had to be pushed just to, you know, finally stab her with the knife, but to actually be, you know what did he do? It's like, I remember the first time I watched the episode, I'm like, he rubbed them together and said clear, but really he's like, crazy bitch. And it's like, oh, I didn't catch that until the second time I watched it. But just the fact that he did not hesitate to use it in order to protect his father, once again lets me know that, okay, if he's not afraid to do that, then Veronica better watch out. Like, say what, you know, she can deliver all this threat she wants, but I think the fact that he electrocuted her showed that, okay, Jeffrey and Veronica, they're going to come to a face-off at some point, and that could be when he throws her down the flight of stairs. But, you know, I just feel like the electrocution was just another precursor. Remember, third strike. First strike was the knife, second was the defibrillator, so I do not want to know what strike 3 is. All right, here. Then we get to number 7. We're going to the Jailhouse Rock, Jailhouse Brawl, basically Candace versus Quita in the jail. I mean, that was a fight we've been wanting to see for some time. You know, the fight itself was standing, and it wasn't even a fight. It was literally Candace beating her ass. It was a fact that we got a little bit of backstory between Quita and Candace in regards to Candace's relationship with Quincy, which I really wish we got more backstory on this kind of stuff. But basically, you know, Quita was hitting all the wrong buttons talking about Quincy Jr. It's like, yeah, well, he was with me. He was alive though, huh? And, you know, killed my brother. And I'm waiting. You sitting here with me. I'm just waiting on your ass to fry. And then she took them shoes off, and that was it. That was it. I mean, it was on. So just a shock fact. I feel like we knew that was coming based off the preview for that episode, but just those two fighting was hilarious. And then the fact that, you know, Candace was whooping ass, and then the guard, you know, took her out of the cell, and then George is like, Mrs. Young. She was like, what? And crazy. Wait, that was number 6? Yeah, number 6. Then we get to number 5. And this is, number 5. I feel like this is good. Wyatt's outrage. Basically, Wyatt, when he went off, he was high on drugs. Jim poured the drugs down the sink. And he literally, he backhanded Catherine, took a bottle, bust Jim upside the head, and then took the statue and was about to kill her. And then just to show, I remember after March when A Lover's Passion, when they showed the preview for upcoming episodes, I remember like being freaked out over that scene because I did not want to see Catherine get hurt. But that was such a powerful moment because of the fact that it was just, damn, I didn't think they were going to give Wyatt, make his character go that far. But ever since that moment, he's kind of been of a letdown. But in that one moment, I was like, oh, snap. It's like, how far is this guy willing to go? And just the shock value of him actually attacking his parents. Like, Amanda said she was going to kill her parents, and, her running around with the gun was one thing. But to actually see Jim and Catherine being physically assaulted by their own child like that was definitely a highlight of the season. Then we get to number 4, and this is Hannah telling her backstory. Actually, it's kind of a 2-in-1 from the cliffhanger ending where she's like, this is your father, to the next episode where she reveals her past about, being raped and everything, and basically Candace's father. Just the lion tattoo. I feel like this should be labeled a lion tattoo. That's just the encompassing from Hannah revealing the truth about how she was raped to the possibility of what other man has the lion tattoo, and then talking about Derek. But yeah, just the sheer mystery surrounding the lion tattoo is just amazing in itself. A sad backstory, but just it keeps us intrigued, waiting for more. I mean, at this point, I can definitely see why people would be like, will we finally meet this guy? But like I did in that video about Charles and Candace, like if she becomes first lady, I can imagine Charles wanting to get Candace's family together for the inauguration and whatnot. And that may be when we finally figure out who the father is. I could definitely be with Charles and his team DNA test. I'm pretty sure they could figure out who it is. Is it Derek? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But that's definitely a strong number 4. Just the mystery of that story and everything that's going on since then. Definitely strong stuff. Then we get to the top 3. Yeah, that was number 4. Top 3. And I feel like these are based sheerly off of shock, surprise factors. Number 3, Oscar's death. Now, it wasn't seen, like his body wasn't seen, but just the fact that I remember doing a live stream and like an idiot, I hit the delete button. So that video is gone. And I'm upset about that because I feel like that was the first live stream when I was like extremely raw reaction. Like I couldn't even get the words out because that episode cliffhanger took my breath away. It's like I even did a video like during that week. It's like, oh, Oscar's going to die. I already knew it because based off the preview, it clearly looked like Candace was shoving him, and theoretically speaking, based off the lighting, it was obvious that it was going to be out of the window. But to actually see it happen, like to see Oscar get shoved and then, go through the glass and kind of guard himself, I had no words. That was probably one of the most shocking cliffhangers I've ever seen. Not even talking about the next episode where Candace is feeling the weight of it, but just that the last 30, like from the moment where Oscar is like, you bitch, boom, knocked her out in the elevator, dragged her up to his room, started hitting her, looking through the purse and everything, up into that initial shove out the window, I was done. Like, it's one thing to predict these things, but another to see the execution, and I thought it was done pretty damn well. So that's strong number 3. Whew, this is a tough one. Top 2. I'm not just saying this when I say it, but this is a really hard choice for me. I will admit that this should probably be number 1 because I did not see it coming. But we kind of did see it coming based off the episode synopsis talking about Veronica finally pushes David to a breaking point he didn't even know he had. But I didn't know how far it was going to go. But the pimp slap, when David literally, I pimp slapped that bitch. Because when you slap someone so hard, they literally fly to another TV station. Guys, I'm not even going to talk about this too much. You all know what happened. The internet knows what happened. The pimp slap itself. I have no words. That scene speaks for itself. Actions speak louder than words, and David's pimp slap was enough to cause the events of number one. Like, because of one slap, that led to number one. And I will definitely say this was the most shocking moment of season 5 thus far. And number one is seeing Erica's corpse. I did not expect that. I don't think anybody expected that. That cliffhanger has us still talking about it. The fact that we saw this Tales of the Crypt looking corpse in the front seat of the car, like the explosion itself, David being blown back, that was shocking. But to actually have Tyler Perry show us that, I mean, that was crazy. Like, you know, Melissa laying on the ground bloody and everything, that's one thing. That was at the opening of the episode, and even then I kept saying, oh, I don't think they're going to show us that. But then at the very end, because the entire, and here's the most shocking part about it, not just the fact that we saw the body, but because of the fact that while watching the episode, it's like, okay, how long are we going to be outside of Hannah's house? We were there for like the first 15 minutes, and then we went all these other scenes. So around the 30-minute mark, I mean, me and my mom, we were like, okay, they're going to show us the car explosion results at the very end of the episode. So again, during the halfway point of the episode, we knew Tyler Perry was going to save the best for last, but showing the body was definitely the moment, the turning point of the season, because none of us ever expected to see it. Like, a couple of people, I even did a video on it briefly before that episode about, will they show us Erica's remains, because somebody pointed out in the preview we saw from an angle a body, but that was from a far off angle, camera shot. But to actually have the close-up, never expected it. So folks, these were my top 10 moments of season 5 so far. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Were there any moments that I wouldn't say I missed, but moments that didn't make the list? Because as I said in the beginning, there are probably moments in the comments that I'm like, okay, maybe I did miss them because I forgot about them. But it was fun to make this video, just a fun countdown. Hopefully the back half of the season will have even more shocking moments. But subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll talk to you in the next video.